Hi, this is Ben Ivy, the Fulfillment Artist, and in this video, I'm going to teach you how to get started with the basics of organization as an entrepreneur. Now, there are so many entrepreneurs out there who have so many great ideas, they're brilliant, they know exactly what they're doing, except they have just no idea how to organize themselves. They get stressed and they end up being very busy, and I know what this is like. I used to be very, very busy. I used to be an incredibly busy person. I think I was getting a lot done, but I was just busy doing a lot of things that weren't actually really having the biggest impact on my business. And when I was in Silicon Valley, I used to see so many people doing similar things. So how do we get started with the basics of organization? Well, number one, you've got to be able to schedule your time. So what I mean by this is you've got to be able to look at your time in the day and actually schedule time to do certain things. Now, often, even just scheduling 1 hour to do something, even if previously it may have taken you 2 or it may have taken you perhaps a longer period, if you schedule it in 1, you will most likely get it done in 1 because your brain will just be like, okay, it's in 1, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. Now, with tedious tasks, okay, that may not be the case, but with a lot of the tasks, when you schedule time to do things, it becomes much easier. Now, I always say to people, schedule just a little bit more just in case. However, once you start scheduling your time in your day, right? What time you're going to wake up, when you're going to exercise, when you're going to start doing all these different things, it's going to allow you to have a much better balance than perhaps you have previously. Because a lot of people just work, and then they stop and they burn out. Now, ultimately, we want to be able to create this management system in your life, right? Where you've got ultimate life management, right? It's one of the reasons why I made my ultimate life management course was to help people that are entrepreneurs who are looking to manage their life and their business and just need something to just get so much more organized so they can make progress in all these different areas. One of the key things is a must to schedule time. Right? I usually do it the night before. I write down my schedule and I know exactly where it is. I have it right here. There you are. Boom. So that's part of the ULM system. So I know my schedule and I make it happen because once I understand exactly what I need to do in the day, it becomes so much easier to make it happen. Right? Next golden nugget, externalize your mind. We're in a world today where technology is helping us so much. It's also distracting us a lot as well. But we can also use it to help us. So what do I mean by externalize your mind? Most people treat their mind as a storage system. We just store everything in our minds. That's what a lot of people do. They just keep everything in here. That's not what I want you to do. Instead, what I want you to think about is, okay, instead of storing everything in my mind, because your mind is a terrible storage unit. It's not. If I give you 100 facts and I read them to you, your mind isn't going to remember all of them in the exact order. I give it to a computer, it's much, much better. Especially when someone says, oh, can you remind me to do this? Whenever someone says remind me, I always write it down or I set a reminder on my phone so I can forget about it, so I'm not thinking about it. Because I'm thinking about it, my unconscious and part of my mind is focusing on something that I need to remember to do. But as soon as I've written it down or I put it in a software, then I know I'm going to get to it and I can just let it go. But for a lot of people, they're holding on to so many different things that it just becomes quite stressful for them. So in order to remove this stress, we've got to have a piece of technology that stores all your business tasks, all your work tasks, all your personal tasks, so you know clearly what you need to do. And that way, when someone says something to you, you can externalize it. Have that software capture it, and it's going to be something amazing for you. Amazing for you. So we've externalized your mind. What do we do next? Next golden nugget, chunking. What is chunking? Well, it's thinking about things as groups of tasks as opposed to loads and loads of mini tasks. Now, if you have a to-do list and you're watching this, that to-do list needs to go. It does. Because to-do list is just an item that you have to do. There's no why you're doing it. You don't understand why it's important. It's just something that you do. Instead, we really want to understand not only the outcome of what you're doing, but to chunk everything so it's together, because then it becomes easier. So let's say, for example, you're someone that you've got your children and you've got your business and obviously you may have your spouse as well, and you're trying to manage all these things. And let's say you've got some tasks, right? One of the tasks is to go shopping, right, for groceries. Another task is to, I'm going to sneeze. No, we're good. Okay, so one of the tasks is going shopping. One of the next tasks is going to pick up them from school. Maybe it's to call one of your friends. Maybe you've got to organize one of their birthdays, and maybe you've got to sort out your business. And there's lots of things, right? And that can become overwhelming. Even just saying that I'm feeling well, there's lots to do. But when you group it together and you can say, okay, from 6 to 7 p.m. is going to be my being an amazing father time. And within that time, this is the block of tasks I'm going to do. And the most important thing that I have to do is pick up the kids. That's the most important thing. So we understand what it is that we need to do. Because instead of thinking in these lists, you're breaking that list up, because usually things relate to one another. And when you chunk them and you can group them together and you put them in separate categories, it's going to really help. Something, for example, that I do for my business is that I understand what tasks are marketing, what tasks are content creation, what task is for just being like my business chief, where it's like taxes and it's all that sort of accounting and finances. Another part is all my speaking. So I break my business down into these different areas so I understand where different tasks go and I can see how to move everything forward instead of just being overwhelmed with everything. Okay? The analogy that I often use is a kitchen. Okay? Now imagine if you just put knives and forks and spoons and plates and everything in any cupboard. You'd say that would be stupid, Ben. So why don't you do that with your business? You need to have cupboards for different things in your business as well. So make sure that you start chunking. Next golden nugget, make sure that you finish things 100% complete. So what do I mean by 100% complete? 100% complete is that you do everything. Done. Don't go back to tasks. I can't tell you how much of an issue that has been when I didn't realize this concept. Often I organize my years in advance, right? So I know where I'm going to be. I try and organize my flights. And some things that I often do is I look at flights. I don't book them, but I spend like 25 minutes finding a good deal, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'll book that later. But then I forget about what I've done so far. Then when I go back to the task, I've still got to do some things, and it's a waste of time. It's better to just get it 100% complete the first time. So think about in your business where you need to start completing tasks 100%. So they're done, finished, easy, move on. It'll be incredibly cool for you to do. Last thing is called your inbox. It can be called your capturing stage, but for me, I call it an inbox. Now, why is it an inbox? Anything that you have to do, you put in the inbox, okay? What I want you to imagine is that, let's say someone's told you to do this, and you've got to do that next week. Someone's told you that you need to go find a new marketing manager, or you need to go speak to that person. If you put them all into like a capture piece of technology, or you put it into your inbox, right? I use OmniFocus, that's the software I use. So then all those little tasks that you've collected through the week that you need to do at some point are there. Then, once you have that inbox, right, it's kind of like your dishwasher, right? Everything goes in there. And after everything's in, you then put it in the right place. Same principle. You've got everything that you need to do. So you say, okay, that is for health, that is for business, that is for marketing, that is for finance. And then you put them all in the right place. And then what happens is, how easy does your life become? So much easier. Because instead of you being overwhelmed with this and this and this and this, you can start to rapidly make progress in so many different areas purely because you've just got that clarity that a lot of people don't have. So what I recommend is, if you've enjoyed this video, I'd recommend having a look at the Ultimate Life Management System, because I've got some free videos on there. I've done 10 key concepts. You can understand what Ultimate Life Management is. Even if you don't dive into it fully, there's so much you can learn. So make sure to check out the Ultimate Life Management System, because it's going to help you manage all the different areas of your life, all the different areas of your business, and help you live a stress-free, productive life. I hope you've understood the basics of organization as an entrepreneur, and hopefully you can use some of this. And I hope that I'll speak to you very soon.